We're going to focus on how the arms move in opposition with each other, and we're going to turn it into a cog-like action. So here's a little exercise. It's probably something you don't think about every day, but how do you swing your arms? So as we walk, of course, one's going to go forward while the other goes back. We don't ski down the sidewalk with both arms pushing off like so. There's always this opposition. So therefore, they're going to be opposite going forward than they are going back in almost every sense of the word. So as you swing your arm forward, get a sense of which direction does the arm want to rotate. Does it want to internally rotate or externally rotate? You can just kind of naturally just let it swing and see if you can get a sense of that. Now, if you think that it internally rotates and the thumb pulls inward, give that a shot and see what that's like. Does that feel natural? Then do the other way. Hopefully what you're getting a sense of is that as the arm swings forward, the palm flips upward, the thumb turns out. We call that external rotation, because that is how the arm should move as we're swinging it forward. And if that's happening when we swing it forward, then the opposite's going to occur when we swing it back. As the arm comes back, it internally rotates. Now, once again, the arm swings forward, externally rotates, but you'll find that the elbow begins flexing, kind of like rolling a bowling ball down an alley. The arm is going to flex. It's not going to roll it down and stay straight. That is obviously quite awkward. So, external rotation with arm flexion at the elbow. And the wrist itself, if we just follow that pattern, is going to be opposite of the elbow. So the wrist is going to extend while the elbow flexes. And the shoulder, when we swing the arm forward, that's known as shoulder flexion. So we have flexion at the shoulder, flexion at the elbow, extension at the wrist with external rotation. It's a lot to think about. Okay, so going backwards now, when the arm swings back, we're going to have internal rotation. We're going to have flexion of the wrist, extension at the elbow, and extension of the shoulder. Coming forward, here, internally rotating, extending on the way back, and the wrist flexes. So this is the motion we're going to be doing with the arm cogs in opposition. And I can stand in a parallel stance. And all I'm going to try and do, though, is I'm going to try to maintain my head's position directly over my tailbone. So I don't want to be reaching forward and lurching or leaning or pulling back in any way or sideways for that matter as well. The head's going to try and maintain its position directly over the pelvis. So when one arm comes forward, it externally rotates, the elbow softly flexes, and the wrist extends. The other arm is going to internally rotate and reach back as the elbow of that arm straightens or extends and the wrist flexes. And then I'm just going to change directions. Now, what I'm trying to occur here or trying to achieve is I'm trying to reach with the forward arm, forward. Simultaneously, I'm trying to reach back with the opposite arm. So the reaching in both directions kind of negates any body motion forward or backwards. So one arm swinging back would pull me back this way, but the arm swinging forward is going to pull me forward this way. So the head stays relatively directly above the tailbone. And then I just change directions. I'm going to keep my head still, or at least locked on the horizon. I'm not going to allow it to rotate with the action. You can, but then there's no change in the tissue surrounding your neck. So if you've got a stiff neck, well, you may want to just allow the head to do whatever it wants for right now, but if you want to open up that tissue, keeping it still and letting your body move underneath it is going to probably be a really nice approach for you. You can do it in the split stance as well. 1 foot forward, 1 foot back. Again, the head stays right above the tailbone. There's no change in that rule. And I can switch legs and do the same thing to the opposite side. This is a little bit more challenging in regards to balance than having your feet side by side. And to know which one you should be doing, well, this is where the assessments come in. So you're going to assess, you're going to move, choose one of these directions, one of these positions. You're probably biased toward one side. And then reassess. What was the better movement for you? Hopefully it was one of those, and if it wasn't, then maybe this movement is not necessarily in your library at this given time, but give it a shot.